name's Rees and originally from Cardiff. Moved over to Northern Ireland just over 20 years ago. Originally in Rich Hill, have 2 boys. Currently from a football perspective I manage Broomhill Reserves and doing very well this season. First of all, in terms of the football itself, I think the level of competition has got better over the last couple of years, certainly in terms of the standard. I think because it's the end of the season as well, the boys are at their fittest and very competitive. That's one thing I have noticed. It's certainly more competitive than previous years, and there's some great players now involved in the tournament. So as I say, just getting better and better. I was brought up in Cardiff and went to a church in Cardiff. I was actually brought to a church every single week. It wasn't a matter of me volunteering to go. All the way through my life I was brought up with what it means to be a Christian, being taught about Jesus on a daily basis. Never ever took it in, never did anything about it. Knew of it, but at the end of the day it didn't bother me, it didn't affect me. I was probably a deep thinker when I was younger, and used to think things like of the Big Bang, for instance. I was thinking of how did we get here? How did I get here? How did the world get here? So for me, I sort of grew and had an understanding, and in the Bible certainly I read the Bible fairly intensely, and from that perspective I had an understanding. And I think it was more so when I realised that Jesus actually died on the cross, but he died for me, he died for people who sin, and without that there's no hope. On that note, people say they're not good enough to be a Christian. You cannot be. When you are a Christian, it doesn't mean that you are good. Good works don't get you into heaven either. That's the other thing I used to hear. And it doesn't matter what type of sins you have. It doesn't matter how bad they are. They'll be forgiven if you ask for that forgiveness. And it was from that moment on that I then became a Christian and believed that that was true. Throughout all of history, even atheists, they appreciate that Jesus was true. He certainly lived. He was certainly crucified, and that's where it stops. For me, I believe that the Bible, whatever the Bible says, is true. As a Christian, you do that. And therefore my belief is based on the Bible. The fact that he rose, Jesus actually died so that sins can be forgiven, I think that's just incredible. It doesn't make me perfect. If anybody knows me, they will know that sin on a daily basis, but the amazing thing is you can always ask for forgiveness, and you've got to look at eternity. I know a lot of the boys here, when they're together, there's a lot of bravado. Guys together don't like to think about Jesus or think about God or think about being a Christian, but maybe when they're on their own, they need to think, what's going to happen to me when I die? What is going to happen to me in the future? Is there such a thing as eternity? For me, I've got that belief that when I die, that I will be in heaven, and that is very important to me. So the basis of my Christianity and my faith is and the fact that Jesus died on the cross is that faith and is that knowledge that I'll be in eternity one day. One thing I will say is if any of the lads here or anyone hearing this wants a better understanding of what it means to become a Christian, talk to any of us wearing the blue, or talk to anyone who's involved in the tournament, because at the end of the day it is life or death situation, and it is very important that you get in your own mind what it means to be a Christian. And this is one thing that this tournament does. It brings everyone together, non-Christians and Christians, and so I'd encourage you guys to do that.